up. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gearing Up. This is the podcast where we talk about everyday carry stuff. We talk about gear and what's going on in the world and how you guys are doing and all of that stuff. And it's Tuesday. We normally do these on Monday, but there are some reasons why we didn't. I'll get to those. For those that are new here, just a couple quick notes. So, number one, when I do these episodes by myself, I usually accompany them with a live video on Instagram. So if you're following Gearing Up Podcast on Instagram, you guys can jump on the live, join in the conversation, chat, all that stuff. If you're listening back on the podcast feed, no worries. Couple things I would ask of you guys. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. Jump on our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Go to iTunes or Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, wherever you're listening. We're also in the process of getting approved for Pandora and Amazon, so those will be options as well. But make sure you go do that stuff. Leave us a review, leave us a rating. It helps us a ton with rankings and getting out to other folks. So just make sure you do that. Another note: we've also got merch. My merch order will be here in a few days. I just ordered a hoodie and a phone case. But if you want pineapple stuff, if you want Gearing Up stuff, everything's available with the link in my Instagram bio. You can go to gtdone.com or gearinguppod.com, and you guys can see that stuff there. That's it for housekeeping. That's all I really wanted to talk about as far as what I need from you guys. But if you're jumping on Instagram Live, you already see this title, maybe. I don't know, do you guys see titles? I'm not sure. But I've been doing some thinking and deciding and strategizing. That's not a word. But I've been working on kind of organizing. And I'm actually, for a while we were doing seasons. I say for a while. This is season 3. But seasons 1 and 2 were kind of finite and defined, and then season 3, I just kind of started whenever, and it's just kept going. And I've always liked the idea of seasons for the podcast, just because it gives me a chance to recollect and reorganize and stuff like that. So I made the decision kind of late last night as I was planning and strategizing to end season 3 today. I know it's last minute and it's kind of weird. And the podcast has had a ton of really great momentum. And that's thanks to you guys over the last few weeks. And, I don't want to waste it, but at the same time, I also can't continue pouring stuff into it and spinning wheels, without any real direction or any real plan. And because the show is growing, and because you guys are so amazing and so awesome, we're getting to the point where I need to do some structuring around things like guests. Fortunately, a lot of the people I've had on are my friends, and they're pretty flexible. But when I'm trying to get companies on and get folks involved that maybe I don't have such a personal relationship with, it's kind of goofy to go in and say, hey, everything is tentative. I have 2 small kids and a life and a day job. So, it's one of those things where I would really prefer to build some structure into how we're doing things. So that's goal number 1 in this break. And the break's not going to be long. I say I'm ending season 3. I plan on taking 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most. And I'll still be active. Obviously, I'm going to be posting stuff several times a week. We'll re-upload some episodes so that you guys that are newer around here can jump on and maybe go listen to some of the really good stuff that we did early on. I think there's a few episodes that really don't get enough attention, and so this will be a chance to highlight those. Again, it'll give me a chance to organize some things around merchandise and promos and stuff like that. So goal number 1 is really to just structure interviews and guests and stuff and find a little bit better rhythm there. Goal number 2 is there's some updating on the back end that needs to happen. Things like podcast artwork. I've been trying to work on that, new intro and outro music, and all of those things cost money. So it's one of those things where I do have some funds coming in from a few merch sales. I'm going to turn around and use those towards, getting some rights to some podcast music that I like and stuff like that. So that's going to happen. I also want to do some different episodes. So like these are going to still continue to happen. I really like doing these. I really like the discussions and the chats and all of that stuff. But I also had some ideas for like reviews and talking about makers and companies and products and stuff like that. So I'll be doing a little bit more of that as well as some like video content. I know it's fun to chat here on Instagram Live, and when I'm doing these, there's been sort of a disconnect for me where like doing the podcast hasn't felt so much like doing the podcast as it has felt like talking to you guys, which I like. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. So there's that. I also, again, want to try to make sure that I'm not putting all my eggs in the podcast basket. And so you guys will see some more video content. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really pressing. I had an idea this week to do an episode about leather makers in the community, because there are so many talented ones out there. That's still the case. Like, that, it's not like that changed. But the reason I wanted to postpone that is there were more than I intended. And I've got some stuff coming in that I want to check out that I can, so I can give a full review on. I'm not like, this is not, my goal is not to like start reviewing stuff. That's not for me. But I did have this idea to start doing like maybe once a month or every couple weeks do a Shots and Thoughts episode. I don't know. I thought that was a cool title, so we're going to run with it. And it's basically going to be shots, like pictures, and thoughts on some products. So I think the first, you guys, by the way, can you guys see? You guys like my shirt? I just got this in. It's like a pocket tee, but it's got this, the Kabuki actor Otani Oniji III as Yako Edobe in, anyways, that's the title. That's a really long title for a painting, but I really love that painting. So, sorry, it's a woodblock print. Anyways, so my first Shots and Thoughts is going to be on this product. Well, these products from Leather and Lumber Goods. I've been rocking the wallet for a little bit. I've been rocking, this is, I think he calls it the squid carry, but it works really well for a McBee. So I've been rocking these for the last couple weeks. And so that's going to be the first one when we get back to season 4. And yeah, so I want to do that a couple times a month, where I get the chance to highlight a maker, highlight a company, whatever, and really just give some open and honest feedback and recommend. Shit, baby's awake, gotta hop. No, you're good, Sam. Thanks for jumping on for a minute. No, that's good. Definitely go get the little one. Fortunately, I'm blessed to have a house of no one. Make some content on Damascus knives. It's kind of generic. I mean, I certainly can. As far as content, like in terms of topics and stuff like that, like I've kind of nailed down where I want to go, and what I've had success with and what I enjoy doing the most. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the most important. What I've found, number one, I love talking to makers and companies and people. That is first and foremost going to be the topic of this. So my hope, hey, my wife's on. Everybody say hi and say happy birthday to Mrs. GT Dunn. Say hello, say hi, tell her happy birthday. Today's her birthday. And of course, here I am doing a podcast real quick. First and foremost is going to be content with other creators. So I'm scheduling and working on a ton of interviews with companies, with other creators on the platform. And there's some folks that I've reached out to. There's some folks that I want to reach out to, and there's some folks that have reached out to me. So it's almost overwhelming in the sense of like, I have a day job, I have 2 kids, I have a wife, and I'm not complaining by any means, but I also don't want to come into something without a plan or not give it 100%. That to me would just seem like a disservice to the folks that I'm featuring. So yeah, there's going to be a ton of conversation. That is first and foremost, that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is you guys really seem to like when we talk about trends in the community, what's going on in the community. And I was actually goal number 3/4 is going to be talking about sponsorships and stuff like that. I was actually talking with a potential sponsor the other day, and they said, tell me about your show, right? And that, it was weird. It was weird hearing that from someone that had reached out to me, right, initially. But I thought, you know what, I don't get asked that a lot. And so it was weird. And what I ended up telling them, among other things, and the thing that stuck out to me from my own words, which was weird, but I said, it's very community driven. I try to focus on topics within the community and what's going on and what's happening. And I try to involve you guys as much as possible. And so that is going to, again, that's a goal. In addition to talking to more people, doing some more product features and stuff, really just, again, it may be a once a month thing where we just do, a trends, a back and forth, a Q&A, a quick chat, something like that, where there's still that level of involvement. So that's definitely something I want to focus on. And then the last thing, and this sort of just comes with, again, as the show grows and as we get in front of more people and we do more content, I have to upload more content. I have bandwidth limitations on my host and what I can upload, and so anytime I go over it costs me more, and it's not the end of the world. It's, again, we're 84 episodes in, so I'm fine. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now, but with those additional costs, like, I just want to make sure that they're covered, and I want to make sure that I can continue to put out the content that I'm proud of and that I like doing. And so I have been talking to a couple of different folks about sponsorship. I had a couple really, really, really promising companies, brands, folks. I don't, not to delve into that too much, but I had some folks reach out that were, I think, going to be great fits. And that has always been kind of my goal is, goal number 1 was 100 episodes, and we're cruising right towards that. Of course, I'm about to take a break when we're 16 episodes away. But goal number 1 is still 100 episodes. We're not stopping that train. Goal number 2 is to make this thing self-sustaining. So, between the few merch sales that I've gotten in and now these potential sponsorships, we're very much looking at something that is going to, and again, sponsorships are not lucrative for me. They're not, we're not hitting 10,000 downloads per episode or anything crazy. So again, it's not going to be like I'm all of a sudden quitting my day job and doing this. That's not something I want. I like my day job. But at the same time, like, it would be nice to just have that covered to continue doing this kind of stuff. Cause it's, it's not cheap. It's not free. It's not extremely expensive either. Let me be very clear. Like, it's not, but anyways, those are things that have been on my mind that I wanted to just jump on here and talk to you guys about. And at the same time, like, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you want. I want to hear what you guys like, what you don't like, what annoys you, what you want to see more of. And I want to take that and run with it however I can. So yeah, that's what's been going on. So if you guys are just jumping on, or you're just catching up, or you're fast forwarding, I mean, really, season 3 is coming to an end. Nothing crazy. I want to take a couple weeks to reorganize and schedule. And that's Ellie that you guys hear in the background. She's over there. Jangalangin' cat. Goofball. You can see her now. Here she is. Yeah. What's up, Bailey? Anyways, if you're just jumping on, if you're just catching up, whatever the case, we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna get some scheduling hammered out and get some details hammered out. And again, when we come back for season 4, I really shouldn't even break them down into seasons. We're gonna go on hiatus. It's so dumb. But yeah, I mean, again, the goal is to kind of reorganize, restructure, and nail down some scheduling. And trust me when I say that, like 2 or 3 weeks, like I'm not gonna not be doing anything. I'm trying to get some stuff recorded, so that when we flip the switch back on, there's some content that I can continue to put out. So nothing major, nothing crazy, just something I thought was necessary in terms of staying consistent and staying consistent. I think that about nails it down. Anyways, what do you guys have? What's going on today? How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday. It is August 11th. It's my wife's birthday. So I got that going for me. I'm gonna go have lunch with her here in a bit. And yeah, I mean that's what's up. What are you guys up to? How's everybody doing? Anything good, exciting, crazy going on? As far as new for me, I just got this in. And this is from Tactile Turn. Shout out, made in Texas. This is their mini in bronze. It's super shiny right now. That will change. I know it is Tanto Tuesday. I say Tanto. I don't know. But I mean, this is all I have. This is all I ever have. It's not all I ever have, but it's pretty much all I ever have. I got this one too. So, this is one that's pretty fun to carry. I just sharpened it, and whoo. That's one thing I know is Frankie can put an edge on these. And I just touched it up because I hadn't done it in a while. Anyways, that's what's going on. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. Don't really have a whole lot, if there's not a ton of questions or anything, we'll end this fairly soon. But like I said, I just wanted to get on, talk to you guys, let you know where my head's at. There's just, and in addition to all of the things that I've mentioned, now I am going back to work a couple days a week. So like I was at work yesterday all day. That's why I couldn't film / record on Monday like normal, because I was in the office. So and that's one of those things where day jobs got to take priority. So there may be some times where recording and scheduling and stuff like that is off. And that, again, that's why I also want to nail down some guests and get them recorded before the actual day so that I can post content and keep that flow going. And yeah, I'll be back. It's weird. It was weird going back to work. Like, I will say that. That was something that I hadn't planned on. Of course, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pop back in and it'll be normal and blah, blah, blah. No, God. I got there about 7:40, and I spent pretty much the entire day in my office. I left right at 5. And I got up to go to the bathroom a couple times. That's about it. Okay, so MB Wild said, what is the number one thing you want to do with your show? What's the bullseye you're aiming at? So I kind of touched on this before you jumped on, but really the two big things. Number one was 100 episodes. That's the goal for me from the get-go. And it's not 100 and then done. Like, I just want to hit 100. That's, to me, I think, where my goal was, like, episode 1. When I first started, I knew that 100 episodes was really a goal for me. And just to have 100 episodes where I got on, I could talk, and you can go back and listen to 1 through 100, and I think we've done a decent job of making sure that everything is not super time sensitive. You can go back and you can listen to a lot of the older stuff that isn't necessarily on it's not what we're talking about right now, but it is still relevant. But goal number one was 100 episodes, and I think we're well on track to get there. I mean, this is episode 84, so I'm not stopping. And then the other thing was really just to make it self-sustaining. So I like doing this. It is a fun hobby, and that, I spent a lot of time on, for those that don't know, before my current gig, where I work for a small company now that is not an advertising agency. They're a private company. They buy and sell equipment, and I handle all of the digital media marketing, website, like tech support. Like, I handle all of that stuff for them. I wear a lot of hats. But before that, I worked at an ad agency, and it is the biggest agency in the world for podcast media. And that's where I found my love for podcasts. And I was on the buying side for a while, so I know what goes into big podcasts. I know what kind of money's involved. I know what kind of conflicts and scheduling and crazy, and that's fine. If this thing popped and I had an opportunity to make this my only thing, I gotta say, I don't think I would do that. I really don't want this to become that. But that being said, there are costs associated with it, and there are time constraints associated with it. And so if this could become, I keep saying self-sustaining, but I mean, obviously, if there were enough income coming in that I could cover hosting costs every month, and minimal upgrades for equipment or for audio or sound files or artwork, and those are all things that I'm not great with. Like, I didn't make the music that's on here. I did do the podcast artwork, but I didn't do the logo. I paid somebody to do that. And again, if I could get to a point where those costs were all just sort of, again, within one another, that'd be amazing. To not have to worry about that would be perfect. And again, that's with the continued support of you guys with things like merch sales and MB. I don't know if you were on when I was talking about it, but there's a couple of sponsors that are lined, potential sponsors, I should say, that are lined up that I think are going to be a great fit. I'm very excited about them, and they'll again, it's not super lucrative. It's not, like I mentioned earlier, it's not something where I'm going to get rich off of, but it's something where I can put those funds back into, again, hosting costs and, maybe buying some stuff here and there, or supporting some makers, or I don't know, just stuff like that. So I hope that answers your question. It's a Hop Sandwich says, are you part of EDC fund groups like EDC Cooperative or Stately EDC? Thoughts on this? I think those groups are great. I think I wouldn't say that I am a part of the. I mean, I'm familiar with like EDC Co-op, and there are some Facebook specific groups and stuff like that. No, I don't participate in them a whole lot. How can I say this without sounding like an ass? There are, and I can't speak for every group. This is not a blanket statement. This is not about EDC Co-op because I mentioned them specifically. But there are other groups that I've been a part of where, just like any group, there's people you like, people you don't like, and there's stuff that gets not literally political, like U.S. politics, but like, there's politics, there's a game involved, and I don't care for that. I mean, in terms of supporting makers, I'm 100, and to me, I think that's different, right? Being on like a Coke Tools fan page is different than being in like EDC Co-op, and I keep picking on EDC Co-op. I love you guys. I'm not picking on y'all. I think those groups can be fun. I think surrounding yourself with like-minded folks and folks that share similar interests is a really great thing. It's no different than what we're doing here. But I don't know. I haven't ever found a group that I looked forward to really spending time with outside of just Instagram and just having my feed and having people that I interact with on a regular basis. And, there are some chat groups that I'm in. I think those I would prefer. I like keeping it smaller. I think when groups get really big, it gets really easy to get lost in the shuffle. And then to me, what's the point? Like, I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Zach says Christina Aguilera or Ariana Grande. Christina Aguilera, come on, not even a question, man. And when I say Christina Aguilera, I don't mean new Christina Aguilera. I mean like 2004 VMAs. I think it's 2000. Is it 2004? No, it's not 2004. 2006? No. I don't know what year it is. I don't know. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Maybe 2002. Nah, well, I mean, not really 2002, because that outfit is... of course, I'm sitting here talking about Christina Aguilera outfits. I'm thinking like the Dirty Christina. That to me is... if I'm going to pick, that's the one you go with. Yeah. Yeah, the Chaps. That's good. 2001. he already knows. Yeah, that's probably the Christina that I'd go with, specifically. But anyways, it was a great question. Thank you for that. Anyways, that's really it, guys. I know this was a bit of a random one, but I just wanted to jump on, not leave anybody hanging, not freak you guys out. What the hell? Why is this? That's not my point. It's definitely... Oops, sorry. That's this thing again. I feel like we're in a good place, and I feel like there's a whole lot that we still can do, that I want to do. That was 19 years ago. Yeah, no joke. It doesn't even sound like that long ago, but God, man. Yeah. My wife's turning 31 today. I'm going to rub that in a little bit. She's older than me, about like 10 months. It's not much, but anyways, thank you guys again so much for the back and forth, the jumping on these lives, subscribing on YouTube and commenting and liking and leaving ratings and reviews and sharing this with your friends. And I have not listened, so it's a Hub Sandwich says, have you listened to Oral History of the Office on Spotify? No, I have not. Here's why. Number one, I listen to Office Ladies. That's enough for me. Number two, I find it weird that Brian Baumgartner decided to do his own Office podcast. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's in competition with that. I don't know. It's just weird to me. And number three, I absolutely hate platform exclusive content. Drives me nuts because I don't use Spotify. We have YouTube Premium / YouTube Music. We had Google Music, and now it moved over. So I don't use Spotify. I have it in the event that I need it, but no, I can't show you guys on my phone. Oh, I can show you on my computer though. Look at my face. Anyways. Oh my God, I left my sticker on. Thanks. Guys, you let me do a whole episode and I had a sticker on here? Come on. God, Bush League. Let me jump on here. So I use, and I've mentioned this before, but I use an app called Pocket Casts. They also... I like keeping it at a distance. I feel like it'll look much better. They also have a desktop client. And the thing is, that desktop client syncs up. So this is what I was listening to. And that's exactly where I was before I stopped to hit record here. So it's really nice that they sync up. But here's, and again, if you guys care about like an update on what I'm listening to, Movie Mike's Movie Podcast, Mad Focus, that's Tom Medvedich, Notorious EDC's podcast. You guys need to go message him and say, hey, get back on it. Waveform from MKBHD, great YouTube creator. That Creative Life, Sarah Dietschy, YouTube. Revisionist History, Malcolm Gladwell, big fan of his. Presidential, this one's really interesting. She works at the Washington Post, the host does, and she went through from George Washington up through Donald Trump, and she's continued, but each episode is about a president, and there's some really cool stuff that she goes over. Pod Save America, it's political discussion. Office Ladies, of course. There's Gearing Up. This one is the Digital Lounge as Creative. She does stuff for small businesses, websites, social media, YouTube. Hardcore History, because Dan Carlin's badass and the episodes are amazing. Bobbycast, he does stuff with artists and folks in the industry, and it's sort of in-depth interviews. It's pretty cool. Bobby Bones, that's that guy. That's his radio show. And then America Dissected. This season is all about the coronavirus, so it's interesting. He does. If you don't care to listen to that entire podcast, go check out the America Dissected episode with Anthony Fauci. It was a great. So I have Reply All on Apple Podcasts, so it just downloads the latest one for me, and I listen on my phone. I need to put it on here so that it's on my desktop, because I've been doing a lot more desktop listening. But I will agree 100%. Reply All is fantastic. Very, very interesting, like in-depth episodes. So very cool. But yeah, America Dissected. Go check out the interview with Tony Fauci. It was like 28 minutes, not super long, but it's just a great look at like how things were handled and how we've gone from this is what we should do to this is what we should do, and like why that's changed, and how that communication happens, and what's gone wrong and what's gone right, and that kind of thing. So very interesting. Highly recommend it. But anyways, so I hope that answers your question. No, I do not listen to an oral history of The Office, mostly because it's only on Spotify, and that drives me nuts. I have not been intrigued enough to go to Spotify just to listen to it. I had to do that with Tom's podcast for a minute, and it irritated me. And eventually his feeds synced up, and I was able to get it on my app, so I feel better now. Anyways, guys, cannot thank you enough for the continued support. If you're new around here, don't let the hiatus or the short break turn you off. I promise you there is a ton of content. Again, this is episode 84. There's 15-minute episodes. There's hour and 15 long minute episodes. There's more random rambling. There are interviews with makers and brands and stuff like that, and knife makers. There's a ton of content. So go and check out some of the older stuff. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. Share it with your friends like that. And I can tell you guys, the biggest impact that anyone has had on this show has been the folks that share it to their stories, and get other folks involved. You don't have to be a podcast fan to listen to this. I think we do a decent job of keeping everything pretty generic, but that I see, so like the days that I get a bunch of notifications that, hey, so-and-so shared it to their stories, so-and-so mentioned you in their story, like when I see those are the biggest spikes in downloads, because you guys are sharing it with your friends, and your friends like the same stuff you do. So if you can, share it. If you can't, just keep jumping on. Anytime we do lives, anytime we upload an episode, go over there and listen to it. And I appreciate you guys continuing the conversation. Like I said, just because the feed will not see new content, I'm going to re-upload some old episodes. I'm also going to go and post some content pretty regularly over on Instagram. So be sure to follow Gearing Up Podcast on Instagram, and subscribe on our YouTube channel so you guys can see these videos. But yeah, that's really all I got for you. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I am going to pack up and head to... Actually, I got some work to do, and then I'm going to pack up and head to meet the wife and the kiddos. But I'm just waiting for my outro music to cue in, and then we're going to say goodbye. Boom. Oh, there it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for being awesome. I will talk to you very soon. You guys are the best. Peace. And for those that are new around here, If you didn't know, I hang out on this for an extra couple of seconds. Oh, yeah. Anyways, that was a lot of fun. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for some of the stuff where I can get that out of the way because you guys aren't listening to that. I'm excited. I'm excited to do more stuff. I'm also thinking about doing a run of these notebooks if you guys want them. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, there's that. I got a new notebook going today because I filled up my old one. And this is not that cheap shit either. This is that name brand. I've had this on my shelf forever, and I'm just now using it. I don't know. I bought it when it was super cheap, so, you know, hey. Yeah. Thank you guys. Again, this has been an absolute blast. I'm gonna miss jumping online. I think I'm still gonna. I say that I'm gonna stop, but, like, really, I might still do these and just not put it on the feed. I don't know. Gearing up 84. There we go. Sorry, I'm exporting so that I can upload this. It's Tuesday, which means it's Tuesday. Anyone doing anything exciting today? For the 3 people that are still on? Energizer Bunny. Yeah, you know, and like I said, it's one of those things where, like, I really, like, I just want the feed. I want it to stay organized, but I can't just turn it off, right? Like, I can't just quit posting. But I owe it to just working. Yeah, same thing. I've got some work to do before I can leave and go have a fun day. But I think I owe it to the folks that want to get involved sponsor-wise, or that want to jump on and chat for, 45 minutes or an hour. Like, I owe it to them to have my shit together and be responsible. I need to... Oh, you know what? Scratch it. We got to do it all over again. How did I forget? Yeah, I didn't even have the light, guys. Nobody told me. My lighting looked terrible. I didn't have the light. Come on. Off, on, off, on, off, on. I actually really like that. That's pretty good. You guys. Oh, I could go super bright too. Off, on. Kind of washes me out. I don't like that. All right. Anyways. I'm just going to keep this rolling until I get this uploaded, because why not? Chrome, Buzzsprout, excuse me. I could just close the blinds. I think it would be fine if I could just take the glasses off, and then I wouldn't have the glare, and then I'd have great lighting, and everybody would... Ooh. I look like a different person. I'm not okay with that. Podcast episode 80. Gearing up 84 is what I'm looking for. There you are. Show in Finder. We need a flight. Yeah, maybe that's another thing that I'm gonna work on. Find a better solution. Just keep it short and sweet. I don't need reminders. Stop. Podcast. What do you guys think about shots and thoughts? Is that a cool idea? I thought it sounded fun. Matthew's Road Kit. Okay, I'll check it out. Publish, save. Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. Alright guys, that's uploaded. So that'll be hitting your feed. I'm gonna end this so that I can upload it, so that it can also hit your feed. So you can listen and watch at the same time. Yeah. Let's copy that. Oh, hey, by the way, I know I'm gonna do another live because I gotta pick a winner for the giveaway for the 3 people that are still on here. Hello. So you guys got in on this thing? It's so sick. Ursa crushed it. It's freaking green and orange. Like, what? When he said something about the green, I was like, oh, that's funky. Let's do some orange. Such a cool combo. Freaking nailed it. And then, of course, like, the GOAT sent this over. And I'm, got a slap in there for you. So, yeah, I'm going to pick a winner for this thing tomorrow, I think. I don't know. I got to post about it and see if I can drive a few more entries. The orange is killer. He did an awesome job. So, anyways, you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for chatting. Appreciate the input as always. And we'll talk very soon. Peace.